Good morning, everyone. Coming at you with a review of the Heritage Rough Rider 22 LR / 22 Magnum revolver. This is a sweet little gun. If you're into cowboy style, cowboy action guns, this is a good one. And gonna do some compare and contrast between this one and the Ruger Wrangler here later in the video. But yeah, let's kind of get into it. Before we begin, let's show clear and safe. So I'm gonna cycle. So with this one, it's like a real cowboy gun. You got to half cock it. It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, clear and safe. Here's the 22 mag cylinder as well. It is clear and safe. So yeah, I mean, I picked this up through Palmetto State Armory. I had it shipped to my local FFL. I really wanted the bird's head grip. My Ruger Wrangler is a good gun, but it's the cowboy fighter's grip. You know, this bird head grip fits better in my hand. How it kind of kicks out. You know, I feel like I'm riding high on it, but maybe it's just because I'm not used to, you know, shooting these styles of guns. But I do this style of gun, but I do prefer this bird's head grip. I think it fits really well. Like I said, it's chambered in 22 LR. That's the cylinder that's in here, and you can tell like it's fluted. It's also got a stamp somewhere on the cylinder. I do believe, I could be wrong. Let me check. Oh yeah, I just passed it. So there's a stamp for 22 LR, and then your 22 mag cylinder. Yep, right there. So I think that that's a positive over the Ruger Wrangler, right? The Ruger Wrangler, while it being a very similar gun, I'll pull it out right now and we'll show clear and safe with it. Like I said, this one's a little different, right? I don't have to half cock it. But there we go. Clear and safe. Some compare and contrast real quick. I guess the biggest thing that you're going to see is that the Heritage has a safety. So the Ruger Wrangler does not. Okay. Now with the safety, for some people that's a pro, that's a con, and what I'm about to tell you with this one, I would look at it as a pro, because currently right now it's in safe. So when it's in safe, it moves the hammer back just ever so slightly, so you cannot hit the firing pin. Now watch, when I take it to fire, you'll see it slide forward. See, now it's all the way forward. So and then when you're on fire, when you flip that little handle down, you can see red. You know, red, you're dead. Okay. Now you're not supposed to dry fire 22 pistols, 22 anything, right? Because of the way rimfire ammo is, it's a rimfire gun, right? So when the firing pin goes off, you are striking the face of your cylinder, right? You can deform your cylinder, you can mess up your firing pin. I've gotten people have gotten on to me in my videos for dry firing 22s, but I'm doing it to show you what it's like. You know, you want to kind of see that. I don't think it's going to hurt it to do it 1 or 2 times for a video just so my audience can see it. I know that that's not a thing, so don't correct me in this video. I know it's not right to do. I've had that in the past. It kind of irritates me, but I know, and just so you know, I know. But like I said, with this safety, right, when you're in safe, it moves your hammer back. See? So now you can sit here and dry fire this gun without it ever contacting your firing pin. So you can sit here and dry fire practice with it if you needed to, as long as it's in safe. Okay. So with that being said, I think that that's a pro. Okay. It's not something, you know, I haven't had I got it for Christmas. I haven't had a whole lot of rounds through it. I took a box, this little small box of 50 through it, and worked flawlessly. But as you know, a revolver should. But at the price point of this gun, you know, you can pick them up off of Palmetto State for like $119, and you know, that's not including, you know, your transfer fee and all that and taxes, but you know, that's a really decent price. I think that the Ruger Wrangler's going now for about 200-ish, 220. Don't quote me on that. I've had this gun for a while now, and I still like this gun. This is a great gun. But you see, like the grip, I feel like my grip angle is a little different on it because it's not a bird's head. And I do know that they sell the Wrangler now in a bird's head. But I just think for the money, especially if you're trying to get into like 22 planking and you want a decent gun, I think you get more options with this. You do get the safety for like a first time shooter. You do get a spare cylinder for 22 Magnum. So if you want to shoot 22 Magnum, you can, while the Ruger Wrangler does not. I know that Ruger, and I don't know the models, I've seen them though, they do offer a slightly more expensive model that allows you to shoot 22 mag out of these. I just think for the price point, this thing is excellent. Now the finish on it, right, you know, it's all blued. So the barrel, but you can tell like it's a different material for the housing right here, right? You can tell I think it's blued, but I'm not sure. But you can tell like it's a different material. Not like pot metal, but you know, it's a hard metal, but it's not steel. It's not a smooth steel like this barrel. And you can, maybe if I zoom in, maybe you can kind of see the finish difference between the two. And you can even see it right here where it meets your grip, right? This part being almost the same finish as your barrel, but then it transitions. Doesn't really bother me for the price point. I think as far as, you know, rust and everything, I do keep like a light coat of oil on the surface of my gun, so I think that would prevent that from rusting. If this will even rust, I'm not sure what type of material that is. But yeah, solid little gun. Like I said, you can get it with this style grip or the bird's head. I did like the bird's head better. And this grip panel here, I've swapped it out with one I just bought off of eBay. I kind of like the checkering on it. And the one thing that kind of irritated me when I bought this gun is that when the picture, you know, and even in the description, it says that the grip that came with this was like a red rosewood or something. It was more reddish, which is something I was kind of into. But when I got it, these are the panels. They're almost orange. They're not bad. They are kind of thin. These ones are a little thicker, and I got big hands, so I feel like this does fit better too. But this wasn't the color I was going for, so that was kind of disappointing. But $119 gun. You know, I spent, I think, 20 bucks on these off of eBay. It might have been less, but you can go on eBay and search these panels, and they got them in every color, variation, style, you name it, it's on there. But a quick install on it, and I got it looking the way I want it to look. So yeah, your safety, it's just a quick, it's just a little lever, right? So you can see your hammer move when I actuate it. And I haven't had any issues with it firing and this popping on safe, you know, or me accidentally hitting this, you know. It's actually, to put it on safe, you have to swipe it down. So in swiping the hammer, if it was on safe, you might actually take it off safe, you know. But I never had an issue with me swiping this. Now, I'm also right-handed. I guess if a left-handed shooter had it, maybe you might have some issues with swiping this by accident. But, yeah. I I'm not ever gonna dog a safety. You know, like you know, a safety is shooter's preference. You know, you can have a safety on a gun and not use it. You can have guns without safeties. If that's what you use and want to prefer to use, then by all means use it. Just make sure you train to use it and understand all the situations that might arise that might prevent your gun from functioning if you accidentally actuated a safety or you know, turn the safety on or off, basically. But I do like it in this instance because of what it does to the hammer, and it gives you the ability to dry fire this gun without damaging your cylinder. Takedown of this gun is fairly simple. It's like a real cowboy gun. You know, in order to move the cylinder, right, you gotta open your loading gate, and with the Heritage, or excuse me, with the Ruger, you can open your loading gate and immediately start rotating your cylinder. With this one, it's like a real cowboy gun. You have to half cock it, and now you can rotate it. And with the Ruger, it free spins when you're in this configuration. This one actually clicks like a real cowboy gun. So it's not like you accidentally go past your cylinder. It's very tactile, like load one, click, load one, click. So I do appreciate that in this gun. And I'm from Georgia. You know, I love Georgia. I love the state of Georgia. Go Dogs. And I like anything American made, and it also helps when it's made in your home state. Heritage Manufacturing, Bainbridge, Georgia. So if you want to know something else about Bainbridge, Georgia, that's where Taurus is also manufactured, and I'm pretty sure that these might be manufactured in the same factory, if I'm not mistaken, which is a positive. You know that from Glocks too, right? Glocks come from either Austria or Smyrna, Georgia. So, yeah, go Georgia. What else should I say about this gun? It's just got basic trench sights, like, you know, an old cowboy gun with a front post. Let's see if I can get it on camera. But mine was fairly accurate. You know, at longer distances I had to, you know, adjust a little bit. You know, it was centered, right? You know, I could, if my adjustment was going up or down, not left or right. I've seen videos on YouTube where people said, you know, they had to adjust for their windage, right? So, you know, doing an adjustment up here, that's, you know, taking your front blade and, you know, slightly bending it to the left or the right. Let's see what else. Some things I did to it just to kind of improve, you know, the reliability of it. It does have these screws in here, and they were actually held in place fairly tight. There's screws here. You got one up front in front of the trigger guard. You've got two in the back, and then you have two back here, and I think that's that for that side. And then you have one up here for your ejector housing, right? You have one up here that holds it in. So what I did was I put some blue Loctite on all of these. I took them out, put blue Loctite on them just to prevent a screw backing out. I didn't overly tighten them. I just put them in there, you know, just snug. And it, you know, nothing's binding. Gun works flawlessly. It's got a good action to it. Now I'm in safe, so I'm not gonna hit the firing pin and damage my cylinder. But it's got a decent trigger pull. You know, it's kind of hefty. You know, it's got some weight to it. It's not overly heavy, but it does have weight to it. Yeah, it's a pretty neat little gun, right? So, got to half cock it, right? You can start ejecting your rounds. But yeah, no issue cycling. I had a perfect function test with like I said, 50 rounds. I haven't shot my 22 mag cylinder yet, but I'm expecting the same results. I was reading online that in some YouTube videos that the 22 mag cylinder Ejecting them might be a little more difficult because it is 22 Magnum. The expansion in the cylinder might be a little different, but I mean, I guess time will tell, you know. And I'm sure that that's something that could be broke in with use. I haven't experienced that yet because I haven't shot it yet, but you know, if I do experience something like that, I can definitely report that to you. And then for basic takedown of this gun, it's very simple. You know, you open your loading gate, half cock, and then see this little plunger right here? You push that in, and that's what holds your cylinder rod right here. Okay, so push it in, take it out. There's your pin, and now your cylinder just comes out. That simple. I'll show you all the 22 mag cylinder in there just for reference. You gotta line everything up. You hear that click from that detent popping back into place, and there's your 22 mag cylinder. Yeah, I mean, it cycles. And with fitment right, you can see it right. I'm not even cocked right now, nothing. It's got very minimal movement, and cocked, it doesn't move at all. And it's the same with this one. I'll put it back in to show you, and that's the main difference between these two cylinders, right? The 22 mag's not fluted, it's just a straight cylinder, and then you got the small flutes on the front on the regular 22 long rifle cylinder. Now there's a million reviews on these. I don't know. I kind of always wanted one. I actually wanted one with like the 3-inch barrel, just a little shorter with the bird's head grip, and I still might get one day. I was really impressed with how this gun functioned for the price, right? You know, if you really want a 22, and you know, you don't really have a whole lot of money to spend on a 22 pistol, I would say this is definitely the one to choose, just from my experience. You know, like I said, I've only got 50 rounds through it, but I do really enjoy this gun. I love the look, the function of it. So, like I said, here's the lockup. Let me hold the gun steady. Very minimal movement, and then cocked, no movement whatsoever. But yeah, they got holster options for this too. You know, I don't have a holster for it currently, but this thing, like I said, is a hoss. I think for the price of it, you know, it's a very good gun for the price. Now, like I said, you could step up a little more and get the Ruger Wrangler. And what you're paying for, I guess, right, is the fact that this is Cerakoted, right? The finish is going to hold up. Now, I do know that they use, I think, for like the housing, the main body housing right here is definitely like aluminum. I've used this gun a lot. I don't know how many rounds I've got through this thing so far. But I dropped it one day, and you can see I kind of dinged it right there. You can tell it's like a softer, like aluminum. But yeah, I'll never get rid of this gun. This gun is awesome. I guess, you know, after getting into these guns, I kind of figured out that I don't really like this big swooping back on it. I kind of prefer the bird's head. But let's see. I guess I can show y'all lengthwise, you know, how they stack up to each other. And this is, I'm trying to match them up cylinder to cylinder, right? And they're roughly the same, and then the difference you get is in the rear at the grip, right? So you got that nice little hump here, which for some people that works, right? Just for me, I find it a little bit more difficult. And they do make a bird's head model on the Wrangler. I just can't get over the fact that this comes with a 22 mag cylinder. You know, you really can't beat it. I've seen videos where people have had this gun and had issues with it. I personally have not. The day I got it for Christmas. I took it apart. I made sure all the internals were fine. Everything looked good. Everything, you know, had the right amount of lubrication. It wasn't over lubricated or had some kind of sticky grease inside of here. Everything seemed fine. Everything seemed machined perfectly. And like I said, it did fire 50 rounds flawlessly. And like I said, if I have any other issues with it, I will report back to you. But right now, I definitely think that this little gun is the way to go for, you know, a single action 22. I mean, for the price point, you can't really beat it in what it offers. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this little gun. If you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments and I can try to answer them. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it, and till next time.